Hey guys, good morning. Coach Danielle here, and I want to get back to these early morning lives because I really want to have an opportunity to talk to you before you go to work. So just tune in early in the morning before you go to work, about 6:30 ish, because I'm gonna always have a message for you to help free you from the job. If somebody say if you want to be free, so we have to be honest about that because there's not a day that goes by that I don't ask people, do you want to be free from your job? And it's a resounding yes. Oh, yes, coach. I'm ready to be free, coach. I'm ready to do whatever it takes. But you got to tell the truth about it and you got to stop overcomplicating this quit. It is not as difficult as we're making it. I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm not saying it's easy to do because we've been conditioned to go to work and get a check. We've not been conditioned to work for ourselves. We've been conditioned to go to work and get a check. And my thought process has always been if you can go to work and get a check, you can go to work for you and earn your own revenue. It's the same discipline. Write that down. It is the exact same discipline to work for yourself as it is to go to work for somebody else. Nobody comes and gets you out of your bed every day. Good morning, guys. Make sure you're saying good morning as you're coming in, even if you're watching a replay. Nobody comes and gets you out of your bed, wakes you up in the morning, and says, let's go to work, right? In order for you to go to work, you got to have discipline. And if you can use that discipline for you, why can't you use that discipline for your own business? If you can get your stuff up and get to work, and some of y'all got perfect attendance. Some of y'all don't miss a day at work. Some of you on time every day at the job. Can you do that for yourself? And that is the first step to being able to leave your job is you got to start using your gifts. You got to start using your talents for yourself. You got to start using your discipline for yourself. You got to believe in you. You got to take a chance on you. The same way you take a chance on a job. It is not as complicated as you're making it. When you go out here and start using the discipline for yourself, start using your time for yourself, start taking a chance on yourself, and start earning money, that money is what is going to free you from your job. You got to have a plan and you got to have some money. And that's really all it boils down to. All of these funnels and all of this expensive technology and all of these things that don't make sense, stop it, cut it out. Simply say to yourself, I need to have X number of dollars. That's another thing. You got to know how much money you need to quit. I asked somebody who was making about $100,000, how much do you need to quit your job? They said $200,000. Why do you need double? You setting yourself up for failure. Why do you need double of what you're making now to leave your job? If you can just make the same amount, once you're free, it stands to reason you can double it because you're going to have twice as much time. You got to have a plan and it's got to make sense. You've got to have a plan, or you're going to find yourself working for somebody else forever. And that's just the truth of the matter. I have so many people reaching out to me saying, Coach, help me leave my job. But the people that I've helped leave their jobs, they're ready to go. Don't wait until you're so fed up at the job that you just got to quit. Now, how you going to build a business with no revenue? You turn into a brokepreneur. And a brokepreneur is somebody that's just barely making enough to pay their bills and doesn't have the money to grow their business. And so they're stuck. You don't just leap away from a job. You don't. You do not leap without looking. You have to have a professional, well thought out plan to leave your job. You need a vision, first of all, of what you're going to be doing outside of that job. And it can't be guesswork, and it can't be conjecture. It's got to be a real business on paper with an investment plan, a marketing plan, a profit plan, a plan to grow your team. You got to have all of those things. Stop signing up for things that are not going to get you a plan to grow your business. I know a ton of entrepreneurs running around with a business and no business plan. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, ouch. Now, if you got a plan for everything else, if you go to college, they're going to give you a plan to graduate. They're going to give you an education plan. If you're building a house, they're going to give you the architectural blueprint for the house. They're going to give you a housing plan. If you're building a car, they're going to give you an automotive plan. Shoot, if you buy some dressers, they're going to give you a plan to put them together. So if you got a plan for everything else, how can you not have a plan to leave your job? Register at bit.ly/no more labor 2023. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. The plans that you need to have in place. If you don't write it down, sis, you can't be serious about it. Look at your neighbor and say, ouch. If you don't take the time, energy, and effort necessary to write down your plan to leave your job, you're not going to leave because your mind is saying, girl, we're not leaving here. We don't know where we're going. That's human nature. Human nature says, I'm not going to do anything that makes me unsafe. So I'm not going to just jump up and leave this job. And unfortunately, good morning, Jenna. Unfortunately, we start down this path and we do everything but put a plan on paper. You already got your business up and running. It's not profitable because you don't have a plan. Do you even know how much money you need to make in order to leave your job? Do you know exactly how many of what you need to sell in order to leave your job? Do you know exactly what month it's best for you to sell them in? Do you know exactly how much you need to charge? Many of us, when we go out there and we start to offer a high ticket product, the very first thing we do is we overwork. We say, I'm going to charge $5,000 for one-on-one. But then you can't do but so many one-on-one people. So now you're pigeonholed into a certain amount of money because you didn't get expert help to make your plan. Or you think it's going to take you 3 years to leave your job or 6 years to leave your job. And none of that is true. It's true based on your own independent thinking. And because you don't have somebody that's done it before with thousands of people to help you, then you're left in this whole, oh, let me try to figure it out myself. Hey, good morning, Miss Peggy. And let me know how that works out for you. And that's just the truth of the matter. We are so busy getting the wrong help at the wrong time. I'll give you an example. I asked somebody about, they said, Coach, I want to leave my job. And I asked them about what they were working on. And what they were working on had absolutely nothing to do with their freedom. It had absolutely nothing to do with them getting away from a job. And so I asked them, I said, so if your number one priority is getting away from a job, why are you working on this? They said, I don't know. They said, I don't know. I guess I thought that by working on this, I said, no, ma'am. Anything that does not directly have to do with your freedom has to get cut out. You have to laser focus on your freedom. You got to be dogmatic in your approach to your freedom. You literally have to clear the table, put the word freedom on the table, and that's the only thing you leave on that table until you're free. I don't think people realize, number one, how fast time is moving. Time is not waiting on you. You're not getting any younger. So that's number one. Also, I don't think people realize that we're at this space in the internet marketplace that you really can go out here and take your idea from 0 to 1,000,000. That's still possible, because while there are a lot of people out here, not a lot of people understand what to do to really build a major crowd. They don't understand really what to do to really make major income. And so you've got this window of, while everybody else is trying to figure it out first. Don't wait until everybody else has figured it out. And now you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. So there is a timing aspect involved. I talked to somebody else and said, oh, coach, but by the time I get home every day, I'm exhausted and I don't feel like working on my business. I said, have you ever thought about working on your business even before you go to work? Somebody look at your neighbor and say, wow. Have you ever thought about working on your business before you even clock in? That's what I used to do. If I had to be to work at 6, I'm going to get up at 3:30. I'm going to give at least 90 minutes to my business while I'm fresh, while I'm crisp, while I'm coherent. I'm going to give the best time of the day to me, because I owe that to myself. Is this making sense to anybody? If it does, say me in the chat. I got to give the best part of my day to me. Now, if I'm tired, let them get that. If I'm exhausted, let them get that. If I can barely keep my head up, let them get that. If I'm falling asleep in meetings, let them get that. We're conditioned to get up and go give our best to a job as workers. We're conditioned to go out that door and go to work and leave it all on the table. But who says you have to? Who says you got to raise your hand for every job that they assignment that they offer? Who said you got to volunteer every time they ask for a volunteer? Girl, that's you, and it's not going to get you any extra income. It's not going to get you any extra promotions. As a matter of fact, they probably jealous of you because you know more than them. You're not doing nothing but putting a target on your back. So stop. And any of you that are ready to go now, send me a DM. I've been getting on the phone with women all week, telling them exactly what they need to do to get free. Now, if they do it or not, it's up to them, but don't you think you deserve to know? And we're going to be talking about that tonight, bit.ly/No More Labor 2023. I wanted to do it on Labor Day, but y'all lose y'all minds on holidays. I ain't gonna lie. Baby, when the holiday comes, baby, y'all lose y'all mind. And what you don't realize is that you can make every day a holiday. You can make every day a day off. You can make every day your Saturday. How many of you would love to do that? How many of you would love to make every day a holiday? That's what it's like when you work for yourself. It is the reward for your diligence. It is the reward for your discipline. If you can work for other people, if you can work for somebody else and make $50,000, you can work for yourself and make 100. If you can make 100 working for somebody else, trust and believe they're not just giving you $100,000. You're worth 2 or 3. If you can make 75 work for somebody else, you can make 150 work for yourself. And that's the truth. Cut out the middleman. Give yourself a chance. So tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to be talking about exactly, good morning, Dr. Shadell, what it takes to leave a job and leave a job permanently. That's another thing I see. I see people that leave a job and they have to go back. Why do they have to go back? Why are people going back to work? Because they didn't have a plan to begin with, number one. Because they didn't have enough revenue to begin with, number two. Because they weren't able to see trends. They didn't know enough about how to adapt and pivot in business. So when the going got tough, they did all they knew how to do, which was go back to a job. And had they planned better to begin with, more often than not, they wouldn't have had to go back to a job. You got to realize that you and you alone choose your next level. You choose your next step. No one is forced into working. You know, they got to have the plan first, Dr. Shadell. The plan is going to make you align with the strategy. I've never seen, let me ask y'all a question. How many of you guys do not have a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year vision for your business and your life on paper? Say not me. You don't have a 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year vision for your life and your business on paper. Say me. Tell the truth. You're not by yourself. And let me tell you why that's important. You best believe, hey, Daphne, I'm on the way to Dallas this weekend. You best believe that Walmart somewhere has written down their 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year vision for their business. Walmart is probably already planning stores in 2028. They know for sure what stores they're going to open between now and 2024. They're probably already looking or already have bought the land for stores that they're going to build in 2025. Do you guys agree with that? They probably have already started to survey the land and make offers on the land for stores they want to build in 2026. They've probably already started to secure the finance for the stores that they want to build in 2027. And somewhere on paper, I'm sure they have a financial outlook for how much money they need to raise in 2028. Why not you, sis? Why not you? You know, we've got to stop living our lives by default. You've got to plan, and then plan again. You've got to plan every year. I'm hosting a retreat in Houston. If you want the details, send me a DM. You're going to keep hearing about it. September 29th through October 1st. Why? Because you need to step away and not just create a business plan or create an investment plan or create a marketing plan or create a profit plan, but you need to learn how to make them every year. Do you know why the pandemic hit these retail stores so hard? It hit them so hard because they had already planned their summer. If I'm Macy's and it's spring, I've already bought what I'm going to be selling in the summer, and I've possibly already bought what I'm going to be selling in the winter. Is that true, guys? Like if I'm Target right now, I've already bought what I'm going to be selling for Christmas. I've probably already bought what I'm going to be selling for Valentine's Day. And if you're not careful, I've already worked with buyers to secure what I'm going to be selling next spring. They're not going out buying this stuff tomorrow. Target ain't in no room rushing around right now talking about what are we going to sell for Christmas. If you're not careful, both Target and Walmart probably already have somewhere on paper their sales flyers for Black Friday and their Christmas holiday books already done. How many of you guys agree with that? They're not guessing what they're going to be selling in November. They're not guessing what they're going to be selling in December. Yet as entrepreneurs, we're sitting here and we don't know where our money is going to come from in October. We don't know where our money is going to come from in November. We don't know where our money is going to come from in December. And when you don't have a plan like that, then how can you ever grow? We got to start treating our small businesses like they're large businesses already so that they can become large businesses. Good morning, Donna. I'm going to say that again for the cheap seats. We've got to start treating our small businesses as if they're large businesses. I learned that in corporate America. You got to dress for where you want to be, not for where you are. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If you're an entrepreneur, there should be no reason that you don't know what to post on social media today. There should be no reason you don't know, good morning, Barbara, what you're selling for the rest of September. You should already have a plan for October. You should already have a plan for November. You should already have a plan for December. And that's why I'm hosting that retreat. Because if you wait until the ball drops in January to make a plan for 2024, you're late. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, wow. But yet you see everybody do it. Oh, come January 1st, they start writing down their resolutions for the year. They're late. Come January 1st, they start making arrangements for the year. Tony, there's so many other things you could be doing. Send me a DM if you want to figure it out. You know, I'm going to have to come back later and talk about doing your purpose. A lot of times we start doing things because we feel like it's what's going to make us money, but we're not really doing our purpose. And so we confuse ourselves. We confuse ourselves by saying, I don't have what I need to get started, when in actuality, you have everything you need if you do your purpose. And see, Tony, I wouldn't have advised that for you if you work a full-time job. There's so many other things you can do that are easier and make more money and give you more energy. Where'd you get that idea? And that's what I ask entrepreneurs all the time. Before you go out here and build anything, has your idea been vetted? Even if you don't have a full-time coach, call me and say, Coach, I want to hire you just this one time for you to vet the idea. Everything makes sense until you start putting it on paper and until you start doing it. Everything sounds good. See, that always wanted, Tony, will get us in trouble. And I'm sure you're exhausted. I talked to a lady and she wanted to open a boutique. And I said, are you going to do online, offline, or a hybrid? She said, oh, I'm going to do a brick and mortar because that's what I've always wanted. And I tried to explain to her that, number one, nowadays brick and mortars are different. I tried to explain to her. I said, you know, when you have a brick and mortar, you're subject to the geographical economy. I'll give you an example. When we had Hurricane Harvey here in Houston, it was a lot of businesses that went out of business. Not because they had bad products, but because the local economy suffered, their business suffered. So I told her, number one, create a boutique with no online outlet. You are subject to the local economy, your geographical economy. Number two, when you create an in-person boot camp, boutique, you're subject to foot traffic. What if you create it in a place where the parking is hard or where the foot traffic is not as prevalent? I said, number three, nowadays you're competing with online shopping. Oh, but she didn't want to hear any of that because this is what she had always wanted to do. That boutique didn't last 90 days and it cost her $30,000. And she came back to me and said, Coach, I should have listened to you. I said, no, you did what you had to do. You didn't pay to listen to me. This is a lesson for you guys. I gave her that. We had a consultation. She told me what she wanted to do. I told her what I thought. She didn't listen because she didn't hire me to do my due diligence to make sure she listened. So when I saw her start moving around, I let her move. It's not my job. $40,000, $50,000 later, she wished she would have hired me. But we all know hindsight is 20/20. Oh, you can see all the shoulda, woulda, couldas in hindsight. You don't have to struggle, but you do have to get help. If you knew how to do it yourself, you would have done it already. If you knew how to free yourself, you'd have been gone. If you knew how to make more money, you'd have been making more money. But yet you see me over here. Good morning, Miss Berlin. Year after year making money, year after year getting clients. And at no point do you say, I'm going to invest to get some help from somebody I keep seeing dominate these internet streets. At no point do you say, I'm going to do whatever it takes. If I can't work with her but for a minute, let me just go get a glimpse. Let me just go get a vision. Donna, I'll tell you. Good morning, Jennifer. How many years we been in the same circle, Donna? Going on 12 years now. So at some point, you got to get tired of what you're going through. You got to get tired of working that job and still not having a plan to leave. You got to get tired of working for that supervisor that treats you like you crazy. You got to get tired of them backstabbing co-workers. It won't be until you get tired that change starts to happen. As much as I want it for every single one of you, it's always been my dream to take as many people with me when I go as possible. I cannot take you if you don't want to go. I can't take you if you're not coachable. I cannot take you if you don't want to follow instructions. I can't take you if you don't want to invest. See, as women, we find the money for everything but us. Somebody look at your name and say, ouch. Just finished a class with Dr. Shadell to help her increase her prices. She went from 0 to thousands. She went from giving it away for free to now being prepared to charge thousands of dollars. Education makes a difference. Sometimes somebody's got to come in and show you just how much you're worth, because the world will fool you. The world will make you think you're not worthy. The world will make you think you're not good enough. The world will make you think that it's only for a few people, and that's not true. The truth of the matter is it's for you too. If and when you are ready to do the work, it will pay off for you. If and when you're ready to make the investment, if and when you get tired of trying to figure it out by yourself. So let me give you an analogy. If you can figure it out in 3 years by yourself, wouldn't it be worth it to hire somebody to help you figure it out in 3 months? How much is that 3 years worth to you? Because that's what people say. Oh, I don't have the money to do this, that, and the, oh, I'll just figure it out myself. So it's 3 years of your life, 3 years of living like you living now, 3 years of struggling, and you still can't be guaranteed to figure it out at the end of those 3 years. Is it worth it? From where I am at 52, it's not worth it. I don't have any more time to waste on coulda, woulda, shouldas. I'm ready to get to the best part of living my best life. I don't have any more time to play games. I don't want to bump my head up against the wall. I don't want to burn myself on a hot oven. I want to bring people in to show me exactly how to get through the wall without bumping my head. I want to bring people in to show me exactly how to touch the oven without burning myself. I don't want to guess. All these people walking around guessing. That's not for me. I need a plan. All right, sis, I see your DM. I'm gonna make sure I reach out to you. Guys, if you want to have a conversation about leaving, send me a DM. Let's put some things on paper. At least know what you're up against. Good morning, Starshima. We missed you in class last night. It was good too, girl. At least know what you're up against. Most people have a plan for everything except leaving their jobs. You got a plan for your man. You got a plan for your kids, but not a plan to leave your job. Y'all know what else I want to do? I want to start a 30-day prayer challenge. I'm thinking about what time. You can give me a time in the chat. But I want to show you in the next 30 days how to reclaim your dominion. Because God gave you dominion over every situation. Physical, emotional, mental. And somewhere along the way, we started giving up our dominion. Tony, what I'm saying is, number one, we probably need to have a conversation so you can get a clear understanding. But number two, your primary thing is to figure out what is going to allow you to generate income without exhausting you. Is everybody with me? Your money should not wear you out. And if you're not making a ton of money now and you're exhausted, you can't scale that. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? So if I have a job and I'm making $100 a week, and at the end of the week, I'm exhausted, how do I get to 200? I can't. I'm going to be tired. How am I going to get to 300? I can't. I'm too tired. So whatever you create has to be able to create more money without it wearing you out, without you being exhausted. Like I said, I talked to a lady yesterday that said she does one-on-one clients. And she told me how much she charged. And I said, you can only do about 10 one-on-one customers because you're going to be wore out. You have to be able to scale whatever it is you're doing to make more money. And if it's too labor intensive and you can't scale it to generate more revenue, you got to find something different. And it's okay because this whole thing is a journey towards finding the right thing anyway. Hey, good morning, Keita. I had texted you last night. Let me tell Berlin we coming her way. Make sure you text me back. Hey, Darlene, check your messages. Let me know if we're still going to chat today. So give yourself as much support, as much understanding as you give everybody else. But whatever your plan is, it has to make sense. So, hey, Ebony, I've been seeing you blowing up them internet streets, baby girl. I said, look at my child. She done growed up. So you can't look at it like that, Tony. And let me tell you one thing that none of you guys should ever have In a world of unlimited money, don't ever say it's money you don't have. If I'm going down the wrong road and I have to start over to make $1 million, I'm going down the $15,000 road. Is everybody with me? Somebody said, let's go, coach. Let's go. I'm about to show y'all something about correcting a wrong. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with it. If I'm going down the wrong road, and this road is not going to free me from my job, and this road is not going to help me live the life that I want to live, and this road that I'm going down, somebody said, let's go, coach. And this road that I'm going down is going to wear me out. I would rather correct and start going down the right road. Look what my client Ebony said. There's nothing gonna stop me from my goal, not even a restart. Sometimes, sis, we just gotta go down the road to that it's the wrong thing. I don't know who told us that failure was bad. Baby, give yourself credit for trying, but next time get some help. If you would have came to me before, or if you'd have went to most business coaches before you went out there and did that, most of them would have told you, don't do that. I would have told you, don't do that. You got to understand that if you've never built a business before, it is more than a notion. I had to fall to learn to walk. Come on, Michelle, you better let them know. Michelle said that's how you learn. To learn to walk, I had to fall. To learn to ride a bike, I had to fall. To learn how to skateboard, I had to fall. To learn how to build this business, I had to fall. And then what I learned over time was, let me hurry up and mess it up so I can get on the right path. Don't be so afraid of failure that you stay on the wrong path. If this path ain't taking me to 7 figures, let me off. If this path ain't taking me to 8 figures, let me off sooner rather than later. You're not listening to me. If I'm on the wrong path, let me off this joint. Hurry up and let me off so I can get on the right one. So it's not about failure, it's about correction. You can't stand to be corrected. Business ain't the right place for you. Business requires that you correct. When the economy does something different, business requires that you correct when trends change. You may go out there and be trying your best. Doesn't mean you ain't gonna make no mistakes. And look, Michelle, you can even crash learning how to drive sometime. My mama did. Hey, good morning, Darius. So what is it in us that makes us feel like we gotta be 100% perfect all the time? Because that space doesn't exist. But you gotta try and fail in order to learn. And if you're not willing to try and fail, you might well go, even with a job. You may get a job that don't work for you. You can't just stay there because you got it and I don't want to feel like I did nothing wrong. Girl, get out that job and get a new one. I talked to somebody yesterday. She said, I quit my job because I was tired of it. Why not just go get a new one? How you going to leave yourself just in the void? Because you so tired. And let me ask you a hard question. Is it that you're afraid of failure, or you're afraid of what everybody around you gonna say? Somebody look at your neighbor and say, ouch. Is it that you are afraid of failure, or is it that you are afraid of what people gonna say because you didn't get it right? At some point, you gotta stop living for everybody else. You gotta start living for yourself. And that's my whole point, Michelle. If you would have had a plan on paper before you even started this, thank you, Ebony, for the stars. That plan would have told you, this ain't gonna make me enough money. That plan would have told you, girl, that's a whole lot of hours to be working. Look like you're gonna be tired. That plan would have told you, oh man, I don't know if this is the right way. Stop being so afraid to put your ideas on paper. And that's exactly right. Michelle said, if you're not paying my bills, your opinion doesn't matter. If I can't call you to pay one of these bills, and can I just be brutally honest? Most people ain't even watching you at the rate of speed you think they are. Most people ain't even clocking your tea at the rate of speed you think they are. You, in your mind, they over there watching your every move, talking about everything. Girl, the right people is trying to get their life. Okay, do y'all agree with that? Girl, the right people is over there trying to get their... Girl, I can't hardly keep up with my clients, much less random people. You can't be so consumed with failure. So are you worried about it for you? Or are you worried about it for everybody else? On this journey to be a real entrepreneur, it's going to be a lot of people that have a lot to say. You either going to listen to them and live their life. There's a book called Givers by Bruce Wilkinson. And the book starts out that there was this ordinary man that lived in an ordinary town. And every day, y'all mind story time? Somebody say story time. I just want to tell you a piece of story real quick. Somebody say story time. Tell you this little piece of story. You relate. Because it's going to be all of us at some point. At some point, this story is going to relate to every single person here. Just say story time in the chat, and I'll tell you the story. So the book says there was this ordinary man in this ordinary town, and every day he got up, and he went to his ordinary job, and he went back home and watched ordinary television with his ordinary friends. And every day he got up, went to his ordinary job, came home. Sometimes he went to his ordinary parents' house for dinner. But he thought to himself, The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson, this cannot be life. Some of y'all listening to me right now, you need to send me a message right now that just says, help me, coach. Because you got to realize this is not life. That man said to himself, this could not be my life. And so one day he went and he was talking to his dad about it. And his dad said, son, I remember I used to go through the same thing. He said, but I didn't do anything about it. I used to dream that I could do more, and I used to dream that I could be better. And one day I just stopped dreaming. He said, son, whatever your dreams are, pursue your dreams. Because if you don't pursue them now, one day you're just going to stop dreaming. And his dad told him that, and oh, by the way, when you get ready to pursue your dream, there are going to be these people at the border. When you try to leave this ordinary town, when you try to get rid of this ordinary life, there are going to be these people called border bullies. And they're going to try to stop you from getting over the border. But son, keep going anyway. So the man, he went on and left his ordinary town, his ordinary job. And sure enough, when he got to the border, there were border bullies. But come to find out, the border bullies were people that he knew. His mama was a border bully, his friends, his girlfriend, all of them was telling him, don't do it, don't go, you're going to get hurt, you got to stay here. That's the people around you. They may not be able to encourage you because they don't know what God has shown you in the throne room. They don't know the promise that is on your life. They may be saying, stay here where it's safe. Stay here where it's comfortable. That's why you got to level up and get around people that are really going to challenge you. Amen. You got to get around people that really see your greatness. Amen. People that really know what you're capable of. People that don't want you to live a regular life. People that know there's greatness in you. Somebody type in, I am great. You got to get around people that know you got $1 million purpose inside of you. Dr. Shadell, how many years did I tell you? You're worth more than you're charging. And it wasn't until she hired me. Ms. Verlene, how many years have we had that conversation? You're worth more than you give yourself credit. And just because you can't figure it out, something you've never done before by yourself, that's no reason to beat yourself up, sis. I am great. Whether I make mistakes or not, I am great. I'm going to eventually get it right if I try hard enough. And when I don't know what to do, I'm going to go get help. And that's what makes me great. Good morning, Natasha. That's what makes me great. So, guys, don't forget tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, bit.ly/no more labor 2023. We're going to be talking about the process. Good morning, Janet. That is necessary for you to leave your job. But again, you can't beat yourself up over failures. That is not the best use of your time and energy. It's not. You cannot beat yourself up over mistakes. Now, insanity is making the same mistake over and over, but expecting different results. So if you know what you're doing is not working, send a DM. Let's talk about it. I think I already have 3 DMs from this video, so give me a minute and I'll catch up. If you haven't sent a DM yet, send a DM. Don't keep doing what you don't know what to do. Get you a plan. Get you a plan and get to where you're going sooner rather than later. Don't forget, guys, every morning around 6:30-ish, before you go to work, we're going to be having these quick conversations. Grab your coffee, your tea, your juice, whatever it is. Bring your pen and paper, and let's get ready to quit 100.